My very first semester in college, I got a B in I think like calculus or something. I definitely cried. Because now my GPA is like a 3.996 and it's not a 4.0 and it never can be. And it's the worst thing. That's the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm very competitive. My name is Mattie Rogers. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I'm a weightlifter. So right now I regularly compete with Team USA, and I've been working towards making the 2020 Olympic team for the last 4 years. If I do really well at the Arnold, it should put me in a pretty comfortable position for the team. So the sport of Olympic weightlifting is competing in the snatch and the clean and jerk versus like powerlifting where it's squat, bench, dead. The two movements that we have to do are both very technical. In Olympic lifting, you can be really, really strong, but you can be a terrible lifter. It's all about putting the strength and the power and the speed and the technique and putting it all together. For me personally, I'm not the strongest as far as raw strength, but I'm very efficient. It's kind of nice to be able to have so many different elements that go into those two lifts because then whatever you're the best at, you can kind of use that to your advantage. Oh, actually, my old shoes might be in here. Oh, these are my first weightlifting shoes in all their glory. I think they were hand-me-downs that were just left in my gym, and I didn't have any shoes, so I got to use these ones. These were like my first ever weightlifting goals. Good idea by me. I would put a little sticky every time that I PR'd. And then this, I remember making to put on my mirror when I wanted to make the last Olympics with a Chinese takeout fortune. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are.
Come on, Mattie! Show it off, Mattie!
I did gymnastics for 12 years first. I think that's where I built my work ethic because I was 6, 7, 8 years old training 6 days a week, 5 hours a day. And that's what I learned to love. And I loved working and learning new things and getting better every day. Once I was kind of done with gymnastics, I did track and that one really stuck. And then from there, one of my friends was a competitive cheerleader and I did that as well for a solid 5 or 6 years. Got up to the world level with that. And that's where I started the whole CrossFit and weightlifting. And then once I started lifting, I just stuck with it, never went back to CrossFit. I'm gonna need to do some bodybuilding because I found that that helps me gain weight. And I need to do that. I need to do a lot of that. The 2020 Arnold is also a bronze level qualifier, and I need to satisfy one more in my Olympic weight class. So we're gonna go to the Arnold Weigh-In, compete there and do as well as I can. The first time I competed at the Arnold, I think was 2 years ago, and it was the big stage in the middle of the expo rather than in like the small hall that the rest of weightlifting was in. It had to be thousands of people watching. It was crazy. So I'm excited for that part of it this year because it is a really important competition. My current diet is not what I would be most comfortable with. I'm used to being very clean, very healthy. I have to eat ice cream. I have to eat like mac and cheese after training. So I gotta get my calories from other things. And like it's kind of fun to be able to gain weight because I can use a ton of like salt and oil and like stuff that makes food taste good. I don't have to like be real picky about it. Most people will like wake up and stand on a scale and they're like, yes, I'm lighter, like lost a pound. If I like gain anything, I'm like, yeah, it's a great day. I think the hardest thing that I've had to overcome athletically anyway is my first real injury. Last year I injured my back. I couldn't even bend over to reach an empty bar, never mind pick it up, for probably a month and a half. It really humbled me because I had to start over, basically. I had to first heal, I had to do rehab, and then I could start lifting again and kind of building back from scratch. But I think it definitely kind of showed me if I can come back from that and be here now and be lifting and hitting PRs less than a year later, that I could come back from anything. I don't think I have a good reason where the drive comes from or why I do what I do. I think it's just so deeply ingrained in me to give everything that I can to whatever it is that I'm doing. So if I wake up and I'm like, man, I don't feel like training today for the Arnold, I know that I have to get up and at least force myself to get into the gym. And those are the days that I have to work extra hard, and those are the days that I really get better.